This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Monday, October 25th, 2021. The title of this rant is The Billionaires Are Winning, Part 2, 10 trillion plus in the last 40 years. So let's go back to 1968. Nixon came up with his Southern strategy. The billionaires, and let's just say that all the CEOs at that time were all white. All the rich people in the United States basically were all white. And they had not been happy about what FDR did in 1933. So we have 35 years later, we have Nixon's Southern strategy, because remember, there was a lot of backlash about the civil rights movement, especially in the South. So what our billionaire friends at the time, maybe not quite billionaires at the time, basically used the backlash that was going on in reference to the civil rights movement, the white grievance of Nixon's Southern strategy, and of course the Powell memo, which indicated that we needed to consolidate wealth and power in the super elite and in corporations. And so that's what they did. They used that during the 1970s to consolidate that. They were taking money from the middle class, which again, starting in 33 to the late 60s, early 70s, was all going towards the middle class. So by the time Reagan came in, who actually was all for all of this migration from the middle class to the wealthy, and he fired the air traffic controllers, I believe it was 81, maybe early 82. He basically said to corporate America and the rich people, crush unions, crush the middle class. I don't give a, just do whatever you want. And basically it was an all-out assault on the middle class ever since then, and actually even before then, because we know that the average working wages for Americans since the mid-70s has basically barely kept up with inflation. So what has happened with all that money that would have gone towards the middle class if we had stayed in the way we were in the 50s and the 60s? Well, that $10 trillion plus has all gone up to the super rich, all the wealthy, all the corporations. And it was done legally. It was done passed by Congress. And some of them might have even been well-intentioned, but they didn't end up that way. Because a lot of times, people don't realize this. When laws get enacted and they tell you what's going on, you go, oh yeah, I'm all for that. Hidden in there in the body of the language, the lobbyists get their way by having an additional paragraph, sentence, or whatever put in there so that they know that they can exploit that after the law has come into effect. But there has been a total, let's just say, reparations to the rich of the last 40 years of over $10 trillion. And, let's just put it this way. That time is over. We have to basically take that back and put it in the hands of the average working person, put it in the hands of education for children, put it in the hands of increasing our infrastructure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the only way we can do that is to vote out Republicans. At the same, and maybe even even some corporate Democrats. But we know that our billionaire friends are going to be fighting all over the place to keep their ill-gotten gains. And of course, they're going to be wanting more. And again, the only thing we can do right now is to vote them out. Maybe the Democrats will get some, be a little bit more assertive and get something passed. But if we can't get it passed, we have to vote them out, because the billionaires will be relentless in keeping their money.